Hello everyone,
Hello.
my name is Nalle. I will be running all dungeons, no SRM, for Ocarina of Time for you today. And joining me on commentary is Average Greg.
Hello. I'll be doing commentary today.
Yeah. Quick little note, I will not be watching the intro because as of a couple years ago, timing starts from first frame of movement. So I will we'll just get right into it as soon as I'll do a little countdown in Link's house and on go, I'll move and we can start the timer. And I'll throw Greg into the fryer immediately because he has a lot of stuff to explain.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am ready. I'm assuming everything is good on Stream Send. All right.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Go. So straight away, going to be down a little bit out of order. So the category is all dungeons. We don't have to be every single dungeon. That's Deku Tree, Dodongo's Cavern, Jabu, and the 5 temples: Forest, Fire, Water, Spirit, and Shadow. But straight away now he's going to leave the forest entirely because it's much faster to come back here and do Deku Tree as a doll. And the way he's doing that is with a trick called a Water Extended Super Slide, or WES for short. When you recoil in this game, you get a lot of speed, and if you recoil into water and come out of it, you can hold a position on the stick called ESS position, which does outside the dead zone, and that will lock your speed, and you can use that to go backwards really fast. And using that high speed, you can clip through a lot of different actors and and walls and stuff, which he's going to do with this guard here. Playing a little bit safe. Normally he would only get 1 stick for this, which makes the trick a little bit more difficult and means you have no backup.
Yeah.
But because it's a marathon, he's getting 2 sticks, so if it does fail, he can do a different
Yeah, I can do an alternate escape.
Yeah.
If
Ideally, he escapes here and gets the Ocarina, because it is a pretty important item for the run. There's quite a bit of time playing all the last songs.
All right, let's see. It's part 1.
Yeah, recalls back really fast, and then hopefully clips into the guard here.
Nice.
Looks good.
Ah, no.
Oh, no. A little bit off.
Okay.
That's a shame.
A little off.
That's fine. Luckily, there's many ways to escape the forest in this game. Ocarina of Time is incredibly broken. So you can just clip out of bounds into a different different load zone in Lost Woods. It doesn't mean that later on you have to get the Ocarina as an adult, which you can do. So waste a bit of time later.
Yeah, but this is fine.
Yeah. So as we mentioned, yeah, all dungeons requires you to beat those 8 dungeons. A dungeon in this game we've established is any area with a blue warp in it that takes you out to like a cutscene at the end. So it doesn't include Ice Cavern, Bomb of the Well, Gerudo Training Grounds, or Ganon's Castle. So all we have to do is just beat those 8 dungeons and then reach the credits.
Okay.
And along the way, we're using a lot of glitches to do so.
Yeah. Yeah, we will be needing the Ocarina, so we will be leading through that load zone that I was trying to clip through later on.
Yeah.
Because that's the trigger for the cutscene that gives you Ocarina.
Yeah, which you can do at any age.
Yeah. But right now, the biggest thing on our agenda is getting the bottle, and then it's because it's just useful for
everything we do in this run.
Everything we do in this run. I should have gotten that red rupee.
That's fine.
Whatever.
You should have enough to. Oh, wait, no, you should
No.
have 5 and forest. That's fine.
It's fine.
If you had 1 more rupee, you could have gone the bridge rupees at outside market and put the shield, but it's fine. To use another west here, never mind.
No, I can't.
Never mind.
We're doing the.
We're walking.
We're walking.
The walk of shame. So yeah, the bottle is the main thing we need right now. It is an incredibly broken item that enables many glitches in the game that we need. Something about this run is interesting is that the first half an hour or so is just set up, and the last 40 minutes or so is just a complete dungeon rush at that point. We need a lot of equipment in order to do what we need to do go fast.
A little sketch on time of day,
I
but I should be fine.
You'll be fine.
Should be fine.
You got still music playing, so you can be okay. It is important that he has a little bit of time of day left when leaving Kokiri because he wants to get to market, and the gate shuts at night time. You can get in after the gate shuts if you keep it unloaded, so you have to quickly avoid the owl trigger that's outside Kakariko, and also get to the market before then.
Yeah.
Here, just collecting these 7 Kakos in Kakariko to get a bottle. There are 4 bottles in this game. This is the fastest one to get by far. Yeah, it's pretty chill section. If you've got any donations, it's probably a good time, honestly.
It will show up there.
I got a quick message to say anyway. We have added a new donation incentive, which is for Spire the Dragon that's coming up in a few hours. It's a body slam through the table. That's the $500 donation incentive for that. And you only got about 4 hours to get the donation in, so get them in.
That sounds like a fantastic incentive.
Sounds pretty good, yeah. Yeah, Cuckoos is this route for Cuckoos has been around for over a decade and a half at this point.
Yeah.
It's unchanged.
There's
few
not
modifications, optimizations, but there's not really much you can do to re-speed this up other than just doing this. The only real kind of skill here is trying to manipulate the chickens in the right way. They'll always run away from Link, like direction opposite where he is. But they do have a little bit of a turn circle to them, so you have to be a little bit careful how you manipulate them and where you throw them to make sure they don't get stuck behind this well here or anything like that.
Oh, he's over there?
Yeah, it's pretty far over. And they do move around in random patterns as well, so you can't just get weird ones like that off to the side.
Gonna have to go back.
Yeah, go back for it. Oh my god.
Where'd he go?
There it is. Sometimes this can't just happen where they just wander off.
Alright, but that's essentially all we need this child, except for the Master Sword. But we will be getting that as we go along, so doesn't really count.
Oh,
Almost.
you tried. There's a glitch that Nair likes to do, or a trick he likes to do called inverted cam, where he backwalks like that. We can see where he's backwalking, and I like to give him a lot of crap when he fails him, because it's a waste of time most of the time. So you target the sign here to keep yourself busy so the owl doesn't talk to you.
Just enough time.
Yeah, plenty of time. And it's very important, like I said, you keep the bridge unloaded. If the bridge starts moving, then it will be registered as being up, so you can't get back on it. But because you looked at him when he was down and kept it unloaded, he can do this.
And we're up. Oh,
Nice.
nice angle.
Yeah, so you have 1 more rupee. You could got those rupees on the bridge and bought the shield here in Bazaar. But it's not a big deal, really.
Yeah, we'll be picking up the Hylian shield from the graveyard as adults.
A shield is a very important part of for this game. It is actually one of the most important items you can have for doing glitches.
Yeah, specifically like bottle and shield and...
Explosives.
Yeah.
Those 3 items you can do basically anything in the game. But here's the most important trick in the game, door time skip.
Yup.
There's a little crack in this door here. Oh. A little crack in the door on this side, you can just jump right through it. If you can.
If I press A on the correct frame.
Yeah, it is a frame perfect trick. Like that.
There we go.
Very nice. Nice. Now he's through.
Okay. Also very important that oh, thanks for clapping, by the way.
Yeah.
You can almost tell that I'm a speedrunner, getting like 6th try dot skip. But hey, I didn't void, so
That's all that matters, really.
that's all that matters. It's also very important that I put the bottle there on C right.
Yeah.
As for reasons we will get into later.
Yeah, it's actually very important. That bottle was right there.
Very important. But now we have a lovely 4-minute cutscene here, so
Yeah, we have some
do you
donations.
have any messages for us, dear Tampa?
It is my time to shine then. We have first off $10 from Drive4Has. Good luck on the run, Frankisy.
Thank you.
And it was put towards the Need for Speed Carbon Swedish Driving. And also $10 from Cavern. Hello, Walking of Time gamer.
Yo, Cadron.
You okay, Adrian?
Hi, Cavern. Welcome to
Big
this
fan.
beautiful game.
Big fan of Cadron.
Big fan of Cajun. Does a lot of wacky science for Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Find some weird setups.
Some lovely, like, oh, here's how to... I don't want a bad example because I forgot the name of the video. But essentially, walking around on seams in Gerudo Valley for 17 minutes with a chicken in hand, too. I don't remember what it was for.
It's a bunch of weird stuff going on there.
Cool OT tech.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Here we go about cutting here. We should probably start explaining some.
Yeah,
Bottle
let's
shenanigans.
talk about a little bit on a reverse bottle adventure and bottle adventure, I
Yeah.
guess. Due to how, I won't go into exhaustive detail on it, there's 2 separate fantastic YouTube videos by Danny B going into said exhaustive detail about them and how they work. But the general gist of it is whatever's on my C right button matters when I drop and catch a bottle on my B button. What's on C right determines where it points. It's a pointer essentially.
Yeah.
So if I have an empty bottle on my C right and I catch, or I just catch anything on my B button, I will write that value on my B button to the 3rd bottle slot, so I can just make another bottle, which is very handy, and I will be doing that as the first RBA.
Yeah. Essentially, you just write in whatever data you catch in the bottle to wherever item inventory slot is replace the item on C right. So if you say you catch bugs in the B button bottle with Deco Nuts on C right, it'll put a bottle over your Deco Nuts because it sees item 1, inventory slot 1, puts a bottle there. And that sort of is the same for most of the inventory. It does get staggered a bit because you have items that share an inventory slot, like Ocarinas and Hookshots, so the RBA does get a bit staggered, so that's why the bottle points to the 3rd slot, not the 1st slot. And why, if you RBA Hookshot, you put a bottle on your Ice Arrow's inventory slot.
Yeah.
It's 2 over from the Hookshot slot. Where things get interesting and get really weird and very useful is when you start going into items that don't have an inventory slot, because it goes from 0 to 23, and then you have items that obviously occupy those slots, like the trade quest items and the bottled items.
Yeah.
But that data has to go somewhere, and it turns out it goes to other parts of your inventory, your ammo counts, your equipment, strength upgrade, dive upgrades, sons, heart pieces, stones, medallions, anything really. You go far enough, you can start doing random weird crap with it, like writing maps and compasses, boss keys.
Or even how many water temple small keys you have.
Water temple small keys.
Shouts out 37
even
water
like
temple keys.
even like weird junk data like Din's fire ammo, which doesn't exist, but you can write it. So that glitch with particular will be very useful, and is most of what Knight's going to be doing for the first half an hour or so. And then Bottle Adventure we'll kind of get to when we get there, but it is, as the name implies, the inverse of Reverse Bottle Adventure. Don't question the naming conventions. They're bad. We know they're bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I think perfect time to fit in a quick little donation.
Yep.
Of course. We got $10 from Drunkle Titus. Or Titus.
I'm Drunkle.
Yo, Drunkle.
Yo, good luck, Nalle. And hi, Greg. Smiley face.
Hi.
Thanks, Drunkle.
Thank you.
All the OT peeps coming in. I have to do a little save warp there to get past the door time, because it's still there, because we skipped it.
Yep, there it is.
There it is.
But luckily, when you save and quit in the overworld as Adult Link, you get back to Temple of Time.
Yeah.
So very useful to get past that.
But the first thing on today's agenda is get some bugs and start the adult trade quest sequence, because as Greg mentioned, a lot of those items write stuff outside of the normal item inventory.
Yeah. In particular, we're looking for ones that write to our equipment and our quest status screen. So that'd be Kajiro, the blue chicken, which is the 3rd item in the quest, which writes to your like inventory upgrades, your bomb bag and quiver. So by RB and Kajiro, we can get ourselves a bomb bag and a glitch quiver, which isn't useful, but it's just a side effect of doing it. And then another big one is the Poacher Saw, which is the 5th item in the chain, which modifies our son data. That'll give us 4 sons we need: Zelda's Lullaby, Nocturne of Shadow, Polluted of Light, and Serenade of Water. So three very important warp sons and Zelda's Lullaby.
Yeah.
Which we need to get magic, which is required for this run.
I'm also going to be doing something that some people call stupid. I call fun and cool and fast, which is go to that pace race immediately here.
I think it can be both of those things. It can be
It can be-
stupid
it
and
can be
also
both.
fun and cool and fast.
It can be both. It can be both.
Yeah, so this run, the overall route for this run is sort of changed. It's sort of like the same for about 6-7 years at this point, but it's been optimized so much. It's unbelievable. The record has dropped dramatically over the last few years.
Yeah.
And one of the optimizations was introducing randomness into the,
I still haven't gotten the PB with it.
No. So it was discovered during an event held by Danny B. Where he basically gave us 2 weeks to do a fun little task, and we had a chance to optimize the hell out of it. And one of those optimizations was to skip farming bombs in Danpo's grave, because there's a pot in Danpo's grave here which has like a bomb drop for us. We can farm, well, as much as we want to get 5, 10, 15, 20 bombs. Great. But it turns out it's much faster to just ignore that and just rely on luck instead and go for 1 in 16 bomb drops from rocks in Kokiri Forest.
Yep.
Which saves, it was like 25 seconds, something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In an ideal world.
Yeah, optimally it saves about 25 seconds if you get like first try rocks. But it does mean that you obviously introduce a large element of luck into the run, which makes reset counts a lot higher.
The odds aren't. This might be code
They're
for me,
not that bad.
but the odds aren't that bad because it's 1 in 16 per rock, and each rock circle has 8 rocks.
Yeah.
So it's about 43% on
Yeah.
an
So
given rock circle.
on average, you've got a good chance of getting one.
Yeah.
But there are times where you get screwed. Like Nani in particular, during practice last week, had about 12 reloads, I think it was, to get a bomb drop, which was like a, was it like 0.8% chance? Something
Yeah,
like that.
something like that.
Kind of stupid, but that's just like obviously an outlier.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't see what Danpo time was, I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. It was not.
Okay.
don't worry about
Yeah.
what my Danpe time was.
Ideally, you want to get like sub 50 for Danpo.
Yeah,
but
ideally you want to get sub 50s.
sometimes he just mean to you.
Yeah,
Luckily, you didn't get voided, that's all that matters.
all that matters. Yeah, this means that I don't have to get crushed here or do anything. I can
Yep.
just do some equips and save warp out, and we don't have to do multiple trips to the graveyard,
Yeah.
which is very nice.
Interesting thing he actually did there was he equipped the sword, even though he already had it equipped. That actually is important because he's going to be getting rid of his sword very quickly and putting a bottle on it, and he's going to die later with that bottle on it. And when you die with an item that isn't a sword on your B button, the game will either default to a Deku Stick if you've equipped a sword before, or if you haven't equipped a sword before, it will default to a blank B button, which is bad. You don't want that because you need that Deku Stick on B because you want to dupe over it later, and you can't dupe over nothing. So it's very important that he actually equips that sword there.
Yeah. Also, just taking a little trip to see Ganon's castle here, realizing we don't actually want to go here, and we're never going to go back.
Yeah, but look here and say, nope, no thank you.
Also, because it sets it to night,
That also is
Which,
a good side effect of it, yeah.
helps us hatch our little egg faster. Because we're on, like, as soon as we enter Hyrule Field, we are on a time of day cycle, essentially, where we need to wait for the egg to hatch, which is going to be a perfect opportunity to do some RBA and read some donations.
Yeah.
All right. We have a $46 donation from We Look.
Oh,
Oh,
No merchants, but when you make a donation of $46, you will get a shirt if you redeem it for free. And it was also put towards the Swedish driving in Need for Speed Carbon.
nice.
We like some Swedish driving in Sweden, so bring it on. Thank you.
Okay, I'm also going to be damaging down on this Poe a little bit here for a cutscene skip later.
yeah, there's going to be quite a lot of deaths early on, intentional deaths early on. 'Cause,
Hopefully intentional deaths.
Yeah, because dying is a good way of skipping cutscenes, turns out. But here he's going to be doing a trick called Quick Draw, which is going to allow him to get a bottle in his B button. He's going to pull sword, but not. So the game registers that the sword was the last input, and then he's going to do a trick or shield swipe to put in his bottle without having to press the bottle button, and that's going to think the game obviously thinks, okay, the last button pressed was the B button, so he puts a bottle on the B button instead. And here he's dumping bugs on this bomb icon. We didn't explain the bomb icon actually. So when you go Adele for the first time, the game will always put bombs on C down, nuts on C left, and Ocarina on C right. But only the bomb icon gets put there if you don't have that item for some reason. And that bomb icon is real. You can use it to use bombs if you can get a bomb bag. And by dumping bugs with that B-bomb ball, he's now giving himself the ability to get bomb drops. He can't hold them yet because he hasn't got a bomb bag, but he can get bomb drops from grass and rocks and stuff. The downside of using this bomb icon with a glitched bomb bag is that if he ever unequips bombs, he can never equip them ever again, and can never get a bomb bag because when you open the chest in the Dodongo's Cavern with something already on that bomb bag slot, it will give you a glitched bomb bag over your bomb chew slot instead.
Which you can RBA for said water temple keys.
You can RBA for said water temple keys or hand into Big Goron as eye drops.
Yeah.
Pretty fun item. But yeah, this makes the run a little bit dangerous, but
yeah,
luckily it's one of those things where when you're new to using RBA, it can be a bit scary and you will mess up and unequip them by accident.
Yeah.
Over time, it becomes second nature to just ignore them entirely.
For sake of excitement, it does mean that every single time I pause, I have a chance to immediately kill my run.
Yep.
So that's fun.
Very terrifying. But here he's going to go for a bomb drop. I throw on this rock here.
Also catching bugs with Kojiro on C, right?
Yep. Now he's got a 40 bomb bag. Then I'll get a bomb drop here, but that's okay. He can do a cool trick to get to Kokiri Forest quickly to continue the trade quest chain. Also remember to get Ocarina.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah.
Hopefully I get this.
Yeah.
We're just going to try
That's
that
a good start, yeah.
We're just going to try that setup again.
So here he's going to try a trick called Poacher. Trying to get a West, but using the recoil from a flame from this Po. Using a trick called the Mega Side Hop, where you use the recoil of a flame with a side hop to go backwards really quickly. So doing a little setup here. Oh, shame.
Almost.
It's a little bit finicky, and the flame is semi-random. You have to kind of pay attention to it, but that's fine, we just backwalk.
I'm sorry, Greg.
You're losing your touch here, man.
I'm losing my touch. It's okay. We do a little backwalk.
Do a little backwalk, it's fine.
We're going to watch a little
Very
cutscene,
chill.
So.
Yeah, you talk about basic movement, but backwalking is the fastest form of movement as an adult. Basic movement as an adult. Rolling is pretty good across short distances. Side-ups are also pretty good as well. Any sort of... You don't want to be like walking normally, basically, in this game.
Yeah, does this mean that I have to walk back in here? And now walk back out?
Yep. So, a little cutscene here because we didn't get this earlier, but we get this cutscene as adult though, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it looks kind of funny.
Yep.
This link will like snap down a bit.
Yeah, when you're in cutscenes at the wrong age, the game tries to compensate for the height difference by moving you up and down, but it just looks a bit weird either way. Same is true with the Requiem cutscene as child.
Yeah.
You'll get launched up a little bit, and every so often. Like so.
We can do a fun little game actually. We can count rocks.
Oh, we can count rocks.
Which rock do you think it'll be, Greg?
Ooh, there's 8 in the circle, right?
8 in the circle. We've already checked 1 rock.
I'm gonna go 12.
12 rocks?
12 rocks. I'm sorry, man. I don't have faith.
Apparently. I think like 4.
Pick 4? Ambitious.
6.
6?
6. Okay.
Drunk with 20 in the chat. I see you. I'll remember that.
3, 2. Oh my god. Ambitious.
I appreciate the faith.
Yeah.
It's completely out of my hand, but I appreciate the faith. It's also kind of a weird cutscene to get now, but...
55. That's more like it, Cadron. He's a realist.
Yeah, and if we have any stats nerds in chat, can do a little quick calc to figure out the odds of that later. But here are said rocks.
Where the fun begins.
2.
Go this way round.
Apparently. 1, 5, 6. No, I can't count. That's 9 total.
Oh, because of the one in CAC.
Yeah, the one in CAC.
Alright.
10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17.
Oh, hearts. That's the worst.
Okay.
I'm starting to believe in the 55.
It might happen.
Oh, I told you.
Okay.
Okay, not bad.
I'm just gonna go ahead and do the rest of the
You
circle
might as
here,
well. See what you get.
in case I get lucky.
I get second one.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
That's fine. Unfortunately, I got some health from some of those rocks. So I'm gonna have to damage down on this
Yeah.
Bob over here.
He's a friend.
He's very good at damaging down.
Yeah, very helpful.
And now we're going to be making our way over to the Miniature Forest cutscene and hopefully skip it. Because that is an important song that we want for later.
Yeah, using it quite a bit in this one actually. I think it's 3 times, make we play it throughout. So pretty useful.
We're gonna damage down again.
Okay.
Actually, should I just damage down and
I think you damaged down off the moblin.
Okay. Well, that's what I get.
That's funny though. Okay, like I said though, you get a deck of stick on your B button for dying there, which is intentional. We want that.
We do want the deck to take.
Are you gonna get? No, that's fine. No, you have a stick still after this. Luckily, Mido's pretty short. You can just backflip over him.
I usually don't like. That's why I go for the mega there, because I don't like doing that, because it's a little finicky.
Yeah, it's not reliable. That level setup is reliable, but it's anywhere from like 1 to like 10 backflips. He can do a cool little jump though, taking on top of his maze and skips the entire sequence. Like so.
Yeah, because I need to save my bombs.
Yeah.
The 5 I got are exactly how many I need.
Yep.
So if I waste a bomb here to like damage down or do the ground jump there, then that's not very good.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna...
This guy's gonna help us out here.
This guy's gonna help us out.
It's not ideal, but it's what we got, fortunately. But as far as cutscene skips go, for Minuet, you get all the songs, you get or most of them, you get the song on the first frame the cutscene starts. So if you can find a way to end the cutscene prematurely, then you can get the song not to watch the cutscene. So cutscene starts, we have the song in the inventory now, but not to watch the cutscene at all.
Yeah.
You can do the same trick by voiding out as well. That works for most of the song cutscenes.
Yeah.
Warp song, at least.
Unfortunately, Moblin is indeed not as fast as the Baba, but
Nope.
I don't want to go back to him. He's not.
Hey. Still a pal though. Helped us out of a tight spot there.
Yeah. And now we're just going to keep going with the trade quest. So you hand in the blue chicken here, get a mushroom, because...
Why not?
I don't know, he's in the forest.
Yeah, he needs help. Wants to take his mushroom to his granny to make a potion. So the mushroom is a bit of a weird one in the trade progress sequence. You can RBA it to give yourself to change your heart piece count to 1, which you can use to just is useful in game modes like Bingo, where you want to get a lot of hearts. You can use it to get a lot of hearts very quickly and skip having to get heart pieces. But otherwise, not particularly useful.
This is just going to be the fastest way to Kakariko from there.
Yeah, a little bit of a shortcut to Goron City, then we go down Death Mountain. There's some cool movement you can do here, though.
Colloquially known as the Jimmy Jive.
Jimmy Jive, shouts to Jimmy. It's also very useful because it helps us set up our health. Because after this Draco sequence, we want to get the Bolero of Fire, which also you can skip the cutscene the same way by dying in the same frame the cutscene starts. Cool little jump here on the roof.
Can hookshot that roof, but I can't.
It sucks. I hate it.
It's technically faster, but I suck at it.
Yeah, it's bad.
I do a little thing there, because whenever you enter a new area, you have this white text on screen showing you like the name of the area. I don't know what it says. I can't read Japanese, but it stops me from going fast and interacting with stuff. So if you enter an ESS shuffle, which is you just hold ESS and Link is turning, during that you can press a cutscene item and it just clears the white text, and that allows you to hand it in faster.
It's pretty useful in a few situations where you want to like pick up item drops and pots, for example,
Yeah.
if we're entering a new area, like getting bombs from Dampe's grave. I think here's our first use of Minuet to get back to Forest faster. This saves a bit of time over going back from Hyrule Field. Also saves a bomb.
Yeah, the main thing is it saves explosives.
Yeah. But you could do the Poacher again, but at that point it's just slower, I'm pretty sure.
Is that gonna work? Yeah.
Just barely.
That ladder and I have a very complicated relationship.
That ladder's very hot and cold.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's great, sometimes it screws you.
'Cause if I I can hookshot it more to the middle to make sure I actually hookshot it, but then I won't grab the ledge or the ladder, and then I'll get killed by the moblin down there.
Yep.
And don't want to do that.
But we're finally at the end of the trade sequence. Gonna get our Poacher Sword. Your potion is actually pretty useful. It can modifies your spiritual stones, so you can give yourself all 3 spiritual stones and some at a time. It's kind of useful for some categories, some extension categories at least. But the Poacher Sword is what we really want. Like I mentioned before, it modifies your song count. And by using bugs, you can get Zelda's Lullaby, Nocturne of Shadow, Prelude of Light, and Serenade of Water. So 3 very good warp songs, and the most important song in the game, ZL.
Yeah. But now we will be getting Bolero and Magic. So we're going to be making our way over to Death Mountain Crater.
Yeah, we're almost at the end of the setup. We'll be starting the dungeon rush soon. Little mega flip here to clip into Dorinia's room. Normally you have to talk to the Goron there for about a minute or so to open this door. And here we can clip through the statue by hookshotting some... There's for some reason there's some collision down there that you can hookshot. Don't know why, but it exists so we can use it. And similar to Minuet, dying on the same frame to get the sun, not watch a cutscene, this time using the heat time minutes here instead. Nice.
Like that.
Yep.
Alright, and then I think we have time for a quick donation before Greg needs to get to the ringer and really explain RBA.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing like 20 of them back to back to back.
Okay, one quick here. We get $10 from X will mark the place.
Yo.
Yo!
Moo! Moo! Thank
Yeah.
you for the cow. We won't be
thanks,
interacting
Exwell.
with the cows though in this round, but thank you anyway.
Thanks, Exwell. Nice.
I love ladders.
Yeah, that is great. So yeah, bomb perfect. The last bomb is used to blow up this rock to get to this grotto. In this grotto, there's quite a bit of RBA being done. First of all, we need to get more bombs. This chest here has 20 bombs in it. Very, very useful. And then this grass has some bugs under it. We're going to catch those bugs on B to RBA a Poacher Saw. And like I said, we'll get those sons. And then from here, you can do a glitch called Ocarina items, where you play a fake Ocarina, like so. And this is going to spawn a fairy. Fairy's pretty useful. He's going to dupe this fairy over his Poacher Saw, because he wants to RBA it a couple of times throughout the run. This fairy, when you RBA fairy, it modifies your stick capacity, your stick ammo count. So dropping this fairy here gives him 20 Deku sticks. Well, technically 11, but we'll get to that later. And now he's going to catch a fish on hookshot, which, like I mentioned before, puts a bottle over his ice arrow slot. So now he's got a fish over his ice arrow slot, which is going to use later as well. Very efficient use of... that grotto is actually very efficient. Like,
Yeah.
you can do quite a bit with very, very little. And from here we can just go straight to magic and get magic. And this is the last thing we need before we start doing dungeons. So this is like the last big cutscene of the run. Yeah, 32 minutes in, we're finally about to start doing the dungeons.
It's a little under halfway through the run. It's almost like a 50-50 split between like setup and just dungeon rush, which is kind of crazy.
It's pretty ridiculous.
You can beat the game like 7 times at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that.
Maybe you can. Don't look at me.
I can't say it. My PB's like 4 minutes. I've actually done it. I can't say that.
Like you did do runs for a bit, didn't you? 8%.
Yeah, I did.
Why'd you do that for?
I don't know. It was fun.
Sounds like a bad idea.
And then I stopped. 80% is fun though, but it is a lot of rupee RNG.
If you love grinding, you'll love 80%.
Yeah.
419 tie, there you go.
Oh yeah, I'm tied with Drunkle. Shouts out. Yeah, this is magic. This is very required
Yes.
for the latter part of the run.
You understand why when we get to the...
We'll be using Froze Wind a lot
Very broken item.
to warp around. Do a bunch of wrong warps and cutscene skips and stuff, and that requires magic.
Yep. But first of all, we're going to finish Forest Temple first.
Yep.
It's important to do Forest early because we do need to go back and forwards in time a few times, and you can't go back in time until you beat Forest Temple. So getting this out of the way early is very good. And here is
Equip swap.
Equip swap. First use of equip swap. You can equip any items in the age. This glitch is basically the reason why this route exists. because now we can use Deku Sticks as well, which is very useful, because it means we don't have to have a sword on B anymore. And we won't have a sword on B for the rest of the run. Having access to a sword-like item to do damage with, very useful.
And a running theme in the dungeons in this category is going to be how we enter them and then immediately get to the boss.
Yeah. It's very rare that actually do any sort of dungeons at all. For here, for example, the boss door is like literally right under the staircase here, so you just jump into the load zone. Yeah. It's actually pretty important that Nalle manages his stick count correctly, because he wants to use these sticks, but also wants to be at a low stick count at the end of this little sequence he's doing. So he needs to kind of manage his sticks appropriately. Here's Phantom Ganon, the first boss.
This guy's been giving me a little bit of trouble, which is weird.
Yeah. No, it's one of those bosses where like you could be fine fighting him and suddenly you'll just get cursed and you'll suck for like a week.
Yeah. Hopefully I don't suck now. But I do want to break 2 more sticks, mainly for speed reasons. He's coming out of that painting.
Here he's going to do a little trick to hit Phantom Ganon to advance the boss fight. Also, never mind. But also take damage at the same time. Ideally, you could have skipped a little cycle here with paintings, but that's fine. Not a huge deal. And like I said earlier, he wants to die to skip this cutscene at the end of the dungeon. So getting into half a heart, pretty important. So luckily, we didn't mention actually, but now he's playing on the Wii Virtual Console version, which this room is a lot brighter, and Phantom Ganon himself is a lot brighter, so it's easy to tell which one's the real one. On N64, they are both super dark, and you cannot tell unless you use audio cues. Nice. So here is the first use of ISG, the infinite sword glitch. That's a clap, yeah.
That's the easy part.
That's the easy part.
I have to not mess up.
So that's the first use of the infinite sword glitch, or ISG. When you interrupt a crouch stab on the last frame, you make it so that your sword, or your stick, whatever, is swinging every single frame. So it's an easy way of doing a lot of damage to enemies very quickly. Has some weird quirks too as well, which I don't think we actually exploit until on this run, but you can do things like hover off of bombs and other damage sources with them.
And now I'm going to do a little setup for a cutscene skip here. That is very important to get.
Very important. This is a 3-minute cutscene. Very important he skips it.
Also going to be RBAing his fish, while also moving my B fish to the bottle 1 slot.
Because he wants to keep this fish, but he's going to lose this bottle. And RBAing fish modifies your nut count. So he's now got 20 Deku Nuts. He doesn't have Deku Nuts right now, but he has 20 Deku Nut ammo, at least, which he's going to use later. Which is very important. He needs a lot of Deku Nuts. Nice lick. One pause, very nice.
Okay, good. I know this worked, but you can clap when it flashes white.
Yep, that'll be the indicator that it worked properly.
There we go.
There you go. Now you can clap.
And now we're straight into the next dungeon.
Yeah, straight to Shadow Temple.
Which we're also going to be doing we're going to be stacking 3 bombs on top of each other to get past the loading plane to load the bottom here.
Yeah, at some point we realized that bombs have collision, and if you stack 3 of them together, you can actually...
not like that.
Not like that, though.
I'm going to take damage from one of them, though.
So if you stack 3 of them on top of each other, you actually create a big like hitbox that can push you. You can push the link actor model, like so. So if you pay attention to his minimap there, you would have seen him get shunted like quite a bit, and that's him being pushed past the load trigger entirely. So you can just enter the load zone, not have to load the door up with him. And similar to Forest Temple, you can get to the boss room in Shadow Temple from the start of the dungeon. Conveniently from the room where you get hover boots, which is a very important item.
And I'm also going to be breaking this pot, because this is nut drop that we
Yep.
want to actually be able to use the nuts that I RB'd earlier.
Yeah. Always get nuts. This is a dead hand, little mini boss. Nice. If you attack at the right time there, you can get a double hit on him and end the fight in one cycle. This is a hover boot chest. Hover boots are a really good item. Being able to walk in midair.
Yeah,
pretty
like
useful.
preserve speed.
Yeah,
midair and
that's
stuff
pretty
like
useful. And they can be used straight away.
Yeah, I will be doing a little safety save here because I'm down a
Yes.
couple bombs and I don't want to completely cook the run.
Yeah, fair enough. That's good. Yeah, so that's a trick called boat key. Big clap. So that's boat key skip. Sort of a variant on an old trick called boat skip, where we skip having to ride the shadow boat to get the bongo. We also skip a boss key at the same time by just dropping in straight to the load zone. He did a super slide out, so a super slide into 2 bombs, because we mentioned before they have collision, and that actually clips you out of bounds, and then from there you can do a jump slash out of that super slide, a precise angle to hit the load zone. And now go shot the bongo.
And try to get ISG.
Try to get ISG. ISG is pretty useful because you can't gain or lose height when you have ISG, so his bongo attacks actually affect you. I know that works and it's still terrifying.
Everyone says that. Everyone says that.
I know
Always
it
looks
works,
terrifying.
but it still looks terrifying.
I've only ever died when I've done it the normal
The
way.
normal way.
That's good.
Yeah, ISG obviously just making short work of this boss. And once again, doing a cutscene skip. Luckily, this
one's going to be a kind of new cutscene skip. Shouts out to Batman for lobbing a bunch of hold left bomb away setups. Hopefully, I don't mess it up. One more frame.
Yeah. This is a variant of Ocarina items called Bomb Away.
I need one more frame.
Using the animation, the damage animation of the bomb. There we go. To get OI out of a bomb explosion. Which saves having to drop and catch an item in a bottle. And luckily there's a bunch of poison in this arena which you can use to damage down.
And we also want to get to exactly 17 nuts.
Yeah, very important number.
Because as we touched upon earlier, with Bottle Adventure being the inverse of reverse Bottle Adventure, I know, very not confusing at all. Instead of writing a value to an ammo count or our inventory, and like that by catching and dropping something on our B button, we can do the inverse. We can write something to our B button depending on how much ammo we have. So
earlier when he did dot skip, he equipped Bottle of Sea right as child, and that bottle now has a fish in it. And when we do Bottle Adventure here, by going back in time with a bottle, now B button as adult, and then forward in time as child.
Here's a prelude cutscene skip.
Yeah, this is a prelude cutscene skip. It's not very important. What actually matters is that so by going back in time and forward in time again with a bottle on your adult B button, it will try to equip the item, the correct sword you have equipped as adult to the B button, and said, look at what you have on child C right, and and child C right being fish points to your Deku Nut count, and your Deku Nut count is 17, so it puts the item value of 17 on your B button, which is a pretty important item to have on the B button. Pretty useful item. Again, if you want more technical explanation of Bottle Adventure or Reverse Bottle Adventure, I highly recommend watching Danny B's videos on them. They're about half an hour each. They go into extreme detail. and extreme technical detail. If you really want to know more, highly recommend them. So yeah, Fish on Sea, right?
Yeah, that's Child 2.
Yeah, that's Child 2. Very hard section.
And hopefully, we have something fun on our B button.
Yep. So item number 17 is the hammer.
The Megaton Hammer. Nice.
Yes. So the skip's having to climb up Fire Temple. Nice bolero.
Thank you.
We can now just have the hammer on our B-button and fight Volvagia. We're having to go through an entire dungeon. However, there is still the problem having to get into the Volvagia boss arena because the boss door is on the same floor we start on, but a little hard to get into it, surprisingly.
We also have this pesky heat timer,
Yeah, it's also a problem.
so we can't really be in warm rooms very long. Just like me, for real, for real.
So true. So we have to do a little bit of a trick here. I'm going to let Nani do it first, and then we can sort of explain it.
Okay, that should be good.
Yeah, so here he's doing a trick called 1/16, which is your health is displayed in quarters, but it's counted in 16ths. And if you have exactly 1/16th health, the game rounds down to 0 health and thinks that you are dead, essentially. So it doesn't give you a heat timer. So we can skip having to get Goron Tunic or juggle fairies or some other way of avoiding heat timers by doing this. And here he's going to not get these fairies and get these bomb jumps instead. And do a trick called a hookshot jump here to hopefully. Nice. So he hookshots that target at the same time the cutscene starts, and that gives him a lot of upwards momentum. So he's now flying through the air up about 4 or 5 floors in Fire Temple to an unloaded room in Fire Temple. And once you come off this text, the camera will snap back to Link, and we'll see where he is. Unfortunately, this is a one-time trick because once you use this cutscene, it's gone forever. So you have one shot at this trick. Oh, okay, nice. Okay, I think you're fine, right?
That's
yeah.
fine.
Yeah, nice. Nice.
Okay.
So that's the easy part.
Yeah, because now we have the problem of
Yeah.
fighting Volvagia with literally as little health as you can possibly have, with something not temporary on our B button.
Yes.
And how we're going to be fighting Volv is there's 2 hitboxes, one that's from the flying around in the cutscene here thing, and one that's doing the whack-a-mole pop out of the holes and spewing fire. So I'm going to be trying to place bombs to hurt the flying around hitbox. And bombs also do damage, and so do the lava pits that I'm
Yep.
going to be placing them into. And Volv also does damage.
Yeah.
And if I get hit by anything, I die and I lose the hammer.
Yeah, I'm going to now handle this. I'm going to sign them.
Okay, that's unfortunate.
That's unfortunate.
I was one stab away from
Yeah.
getting hit, but that's okay.
It's a little hard to aim the weapon when it's like that, unfortunately. We can save this. We can't use the hookshot jump again, but we can get the boss key.
Yeah, I just
Right,
have the
yeah.
weird shot to the boss
Yeah.
key here.
There's a trick called a weird shot. I don't know how to explain it. Hit bomb, go on the ground, shoot stuff. Done. I literally don't know how it works. I'm sorry.
I mean, that's pretty much it. It's called a weird shot for
For a reason, yeah.
Um,
The problem is you now have to get Hammer back on the beat button, which is... It's not a difficult process, it's just a time-consuming process, because he has to break all his sticks, and then RB him again.
yeah, so we're doing a Child 3 a little
Child-
bit sooner than I
Yeah.
would have liked. But it's okay.
Yeah, it's worth pointing out this is a very hard run. This is a very, very difficult speedrun. It's extremely volatile, has a lot of places where one thing goes wrong and the entire run's done. We're still at the point where that can happen. This is annoying and time consuming, but it's not the worst thing that can happen, surprisingly enough.
Yeah. But we get to see, if you needed a little refresher on how RBA and BA works, I need to catch these bugs again.
Yep, so you need them later. If you can, there we go.
There we go. I almost, out of pure muscle memory, just walked away from them, and that would have been bad. Okay, but that's cool, because we get to redo 1/16 and a little bit of wall fighting, which is exciting.
Yep.
Fish is still on our sea right, and I haven't used any nuts, nor gotten any.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're just gonna go
Alright.
back. And round 2.
Yep.
I played Bolero better that time.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good bolero. Very clean.
Thank
yeah,
you.
that gives us a clap.
Thank you. Playing songs fast is very hard.
Yeah, it's actually very hard.
They have like this weird like cap on how fast you can do the inputs.
You have to have like a frame between button inputs.
Yeah. I do need to prime my health here again, so I'm just gonna void out there real quick.
Won't be at 2 hearts for this. You take a heart from this full and then the keys does the rest.
Yeah.
As far as like how 1/16 works, he's using the cycle of the heart icon on the top left to kind of...
What did I drop? I don't need to do time stop again.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because Drune is not here anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, that
okay,
is
that's
a problem.
Okay, we need to get some health.
Okay.
Drink
wait,
fish. Drink fish, maybe.
Let's see if this guy gives me some.
Yeah, 3 hearts from this is pretty good.
What did he give me? Nothing. Okay.
Okay, like just drink fish, I guess.
I'm just gonna...
Or use a fairy, yeah.
If I can.
This is a hard trick. As we pointed out, the Crystal is a 1-frame trick at 30 FPS with analog inputs, with stick inputs, so it's...
Okay, damaging
be
down
definitive.
here is going to be a bit awkward.
Yeah,
but,
that's awkward.
well, I mean, I can use a couple of the bombs, and then...
Yeah, refill.
Yeah, let's do this.
So you can use a juggle damage buffer in here where you wait out damage frames in the cutscene animation to take damage from the same explosion. Yeah.
Okay, and then let's use this keys this time. He's going to be nicer to me. I just know it.
Nope, he's flying away.
Come on. Fella.
Bro, please, cooperate.
Okay.
There we go.
3, 4. Okay, that's... yeah.
I feel better that time.
That felt a lot better.
Yeah.
I'm basically looking at like the pulsating of the hearts.
Yeah.
I don't know if you...
No, I did, yeah. I
Okay,
mentioned
yeah.
it. You know what the window on that is?
It's an 8-frame window, so like it's
Okay.
not too precise.
Yeah,
but
fine.
it's... You don't really have a lot of cues to work with.
Yeah.
But hey, I get to restock on bombs.
Yeah. You're being careful, you don't have to be any careful anymore.
It's muscle
I
memory.
know. So,
Muscle memory of how to walk through this room when Daruna is here, which
Yeah.
I don't need to care about at the moment. Okay. Unfortunately, we will be getting a little bit of a faster boss intro
Yeah.
cutscene this time.
that is a plus.
See how fast that camera goes. Okay. This time for sure.
Yes.
For sure this time.
Oh, what? Oh my god.
Jesus.
That was terrible. Okay, well done. That was some horrific RNG on that fight.
Oh boy.
So now they got what we call Troll Hole, where she pops out of the hole you want to drop bombs into. You have to drop a bomb and quickly get out of the damage range, and then position the boss in such a way that she won't get damaged by the explosion, definitely on the bomb. And they got a far cycle, which means you have to rush over there and get an attack in before they shut off the fire breath and stuff. So that was a pretty bad fight. We managed to actually get through it, so well done.
Thank you.
And now this is a last death cutscene skip in the run. What are we doing? Nice.
Thank you.
Good lick. And using some Deku Nuts in the meantime. Get down to our next BA item number.
I don't know why I'm safety saving. It doesn't make
Ah, okay, nice.
Hey, okay.
Well done. Okay, so using Deku Nuts down to 13 because that's the item we want to put on our B button next. And it's the item's going to be the B button for the rest of the run.
Yep. Also, like similar to dying, saving and resetting will also remove what's on your B button if it's not a sword. So no more safety saves for me.
But that like flickering in the pull screens because he's got bottles in random places in his inventory. They can be random. They can be okay. They can be blinding, and so that's a pretty bad one to get when it's flickering like that. Nice.
Okay. Now I don't need those bugs anymore, so
Yeah.
now I can just walk away from them.
They're free to live in Temple of Time for the rest of their days.
If you ever wonder how you get like cockroaches and stuff, that's why.
It's Link's fault.
Link's fault.
Walks to your house, breaks your pottery, dumps bugs everywhere.
Yeah, that's Child 4.
Child 4, yep, that's the classic AD Child 4.
Hopefully not a Child 5. That would be...
If you have to do a Child 5, then we're definitely going to overestimate it.
Oh yeah.
Yes, our number 13 is Feror's Wind. We mentioned we're going to be using this quite a bit. It's the reason why we get magic. So the only reason we get ZL is to get magic, is to use Feror's Wind.
Yeah, this item is... Specifically, this item on your B button is incredibly broken.
Yeah, so Feror's Wind normally is a spell you get that you cast it and you set a warp point you can then go back to at a later date. Which is useful if you want to like leave an area and come back later when you want to get more, so you want to buy more bombs over casually.
Oh, that's... Wait, I'll hit the sandwich.
You gonna get it?
Get one more frame, that is.
Does that work?
Should work. Equip swap doesn't work though.
Equip swap is hard.
Oh, there we go.
Nice. Yes, nice. So, yeah, the issue with doing Hesses and any sort of speed trick on stairs or any sort of slope is that if you have too much speed and you go directly backwards, you'll just go into the air and cancel your momentum. So you have to go out at like a certain angle to kind of keep your speed.
Also going to be setting Feror's Wind here in Lost Woods, specifically from this entrance.
It's very important. What entrance you have, so you'll be doing a ROM warp using Feror's Wind in a little bit, and it's very important that that is entrance point for Feror's Wind, because otherwise I think the game just doesn't work, will crash. Here he's going to try to use a Hess to flip into Deku Tree. I did say we'd be back later, and here we are. Like that? Nice. Very nice.
Ooh, nice. Unfortunately, there's some vines up here that are hookshotable, so I can just kind of hookshot the floor here.
You too far away.
Nah.
You're too slow!
I know. I'm trying not to. My bad.
You also use the opportunity to put away hookshot, and him putting away the hookshot skips the Navi text box there.
That's not gonna work.
Is that too early? Yeah.
Too early.
Here we're trying to do a mega flip to clip out of bounds and get to the Goma boss room.
That's more like it.
That might be too late.
Nah.
Okay. Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Alright.
So this is Goma, the first boss of the game.
We'll be
Not much to talk about really.
yeah, we'll be making quick work
Very
with
quick work.
Deku Stick, ISG, and some nuts.
Yeah.
So
We actually mentioned that power crouch stab, did we? I think so. Yeah.
I don't think so. You can do it now.
I'll explain that, I guess. Yeah. So the crouch stab attack isn't programmed properly, and it just takes the damage and the damage type of your last attack. And so a Deku Stick jump slash does 4 damage. So if you crouch stab, all your crouch stabs will do 4 damage. And if you get ISG, then all your attacks will do 4 damage for the ISG. So you can just do 4 damage every frame. So that's why he's killing bosses so quickly.
Yeah, and now we're going to be returning to the point we set with FW, right as this cutscene wants to take us away. And they're going to overlap and going to be skipping this cutscene and also warping to the complete opposite side of the map.
Yep, now we're in the Spirit Temple. Yeah, so that's a Thrall's Wind ROM warp, which is, as you can see, pretty powerful.
Pretty powerful.
Yeah.
It does, however, warp us to this Silver Gauntlet's chest cutscene, so
Yeah.
we have time for some donations.
And we do have a beautiful $100 donation from Pancake Turtle.
Woo!
Hi,
Oh, yeah.
Nalle. Oh, yeah, clap for that one. Good one. Hi, Nalle. Don't lose Furrow's Wind on B. Smiley face.
Thanks.
Shut up,
Don't
Pancake.
jinx it, please.
He-
Yeah, I agree. Don't.
it's a specialty to jinx me, or at least try to. But thank you for the donation.
And here we're using the Hess to get across the hands to the other side. We don't care about Silver Gauntlets at all.
We already watched that cutscene, we don't want that.
All we care about is the Mirror Shield right here. Because this is a required item to beat Twin Rover, the boss of the dungeon. And this is a rare situation where we actually have to do some of the dungeon to get to the boss.
Yeah, we're actually going to be seeing like more than 2 rooms.
Yeah.
Crazy. Now I'm going to be getting Broken Stick on this wall as well. Because I do need to beat this Iron Knuckle here.
Yep. Nice. That's a scary fight because Iron Knuckles, every attack they have does 4 hearts of damage, and he only has 3 hearts, so pretty scary. Like any attack will kill him.
Here's also a good spot to get more bombs.
Yep. A little trick you can do to kill these almost instantly.
Don't worry about how that works.
Don't worry about it.
I don't know. No, there's like 2 people in the Discord who knows how that
Yeah.
works.
Oh, god damn it.
It's very weird.
Yeah. So, but almost have a 50-50 shot, I think, of giving you.
Yeah,
bombs.
50-50.
Hopefully, we get some bomb drops there. Ooh.
Ooh,
3.
3.
Nice. That's pretty good.
I'm still gonna get the pot just for
Yeah.
safety.
I don't
but
blame you. I don't blame you.
There's a nice little movement you can do here to manipulate all these Anubis.
Yep. Don't press A.
Yeah,
The amount of people who have ruined a run by opening that door by accident is kind of unbelievable. But this pot always has a bomb drop in it. And here he's going to be doing a trick called Statue Climb, which is a sequence of movement to get up this the shoulder of the statue. Nice.
try that again.
It's a little bit finicky to...
Oh,
Nice. Oh my god. It's a little bit finicky to get up that shoulder without having ISG to keep yourself supported.
and I mean, I could get ISG, but
You could.
where's the fun in that?
There we go. So you can use the bomb recoil to put up here. Get broken stick. A little bit of parkour. And here he's going to try to something called head clip. By using the momentum of 2 backflips in a row, you can flip out of bounds and get to the boss door. Nice. Very good. Yeah.
I only fell down once, which is way better than expected.
Good, yeah. my All Dungeons PB lost about 3 minutes there, so good fun.
It's a cool trick. It's
pretty cool.
It's some good old-fashioned just OOT parkour.
Yeah, it's really sick. And this is the Boru knuckle fight. It's nice. It's not an iron knuckle fight, but it has 2 cutscenes attached to it.
Yeah.
Luckily, we can skip one of them by voiding out of the room.
There's also this lovely little broken stick setup.
Oh yeah.
Just instantly after the cutscene, if I just hold left and shield, and then do a jump slash.
Yeah, because Link has his sword out in this cutscene, but obviously when he got a sword equipped, so he wants to put it away first. So he does that before actually do anything. It's like so. Nice.
I was... okay.
Damn it. So...
I jumped up on the chair a little too fast.
Yeah, it happens. So what's supposed to happen there is you grab on the little bit above the door there, and then you drop down as soon as the cutscene starts, and you just fall through the floor and void out. But if you're a little bit off on your timing, you just get walk back to your position in the cutscene. It's not a huge deal, really.
It's
about 30 seconds.
In the grand scheme of things, of everything that can go wrong in everything that can go wrong in that room, this is by far the
it's better to fail this than to die to the knuckle.
Yeah.
This is the worst place to die in the entire game because it's the worst place in the game to get back to. Because it is literally on the other side of the map.
Worst place to get back to by far.
Yeah, we don't have Requiem, so we can't walk back here. And walking back here would take about 5 minutes. That's not including
that's a generous estimate.
That's not including getting Frostwind back on B either. Yeah, this boss here is Twin Rover. One of the coolest bosses is a casual playthrough. The single worst boss in a speedrun because it has a ton of randomness attached to it. Recently, we were able to figure out how they work and how they queue up their shots and what kind of patterns they do. So you can sort of preempt what they're going to do and know what they're going to do ahead of time. But you're still reliant on them actually.
You need them to
right positions.
Yeah, you need them to like fly over a pillar and quote unquote like store a shot.
Yeah.
Which so either they're gonna shoot, or if their friend is shooting, then they will store it for the next time they stop.
Mm-hmm.
So it's mainly just a game of keeping your eye on both of them.
Yeah. A bit of a rough one.
Fire is storing there, and ice is storing. I think fire landed first. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you go? There.
You can use your hook shot to keep them in place as well, or get them moving, like basically reset what they're doing.
Yeah, but now ice has one stored,
Yeah,
so it's going to shoot from here.
Yep.
I think fire has one stored.
Oh, yeah, it was flying towards the pillar. Okay, it's
Okay, well, it's shooting anyway.
Now, yeah. Yeah, if you get unlucky in this fight, you can get into a situation where they just fly around and don't hit any pillars for like 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 12 cycles in a row. And you can be stuck here for literally like a minute and not have anything happen if you get really unlucky. Which has happened to some people, where they just...
My PB is 7.
Nice.
Which is not fun.
No. Okay, so that's 4 shots, and you move on to phase 2. Where they form into one.
Now this phase is essentially scripted. There's a little bit of RNG, and where you can get like a double or a triple, aka they stand on the same platform here too. So if you stand on the far side, you can guarantee that she won't pick that one as her next destination. So you increase your odds of getting like a double or triple. But I didn't go in there, but it's fine.
Now we can control over and just use ISG to...
This is just to make sure the hitbox is there.
Yes, trust
Don't...
Respectfully.
Respectfully. I love feminism.
I love feminism. Read the shirt.
Read the shirt.
A lot of people have been asking in the chat about SRM. Do you would like to explain it further?
Ooh,
If you can.
SRM stands for Stale Reference Manipulation. It essentially is any OOT glitch you could possibly imagine on crack. It allows you to manipulate memory in borderline ace ways, where I'm not the most knowledgeable about it,
Same.
but it is such a powerful glitch that at Ocarina of Time, an already very broken and like picked apart game, deemed it necessary to like, no, we need to split this into its own thing.
To give you an idea, the old dungeons with SRM category is about 40 minutes shorter than this one.
Yeah.
I think. About half an hour long.
And done all child.
And done oldest child, yes.
With like 18 heart containers.
Yeah. It's kind of ridiculous. You can kind of see why we had to split them up.
Which is, it's still cool, don't get me wrong. I think it's very cool, and I do genuinely love that category, and it's very fascinating, but it is a very different way to play the game.
Yeah. No, that was another Frostwind cutscene skip there. Warping back to Lost Woods. It's not very important what about Lost Woods, but...
Yeah, that's not... That just happened to be like that's where our
was set.
FW was set from the wrong one earlier.
Yeah. Now it's just going around to finish off the dungeons we have left, which is Saucer Water Temple.
Yeah, and here, that used up my FW, so I need to reset it here because I want to do another cutscene skip at the end of Water Temple.
There's a little setup to clip into Water Temple. You're supposed to have iron boots and use hookshot and stuff like that, but you can just do that instead.
And
Get the
here
load
is
zone.
my arch enemy. This dungeon is not hard in this category, but it's very hard for me on PB base. Fortunately, this is not PB
No,
base.
you can just kind of chill a little bit. When getting here on the good run is it's when the nerves start to kick in, because you're past all the real, like, most of the death points in the run.
That's a scary equip.
Yeah,
I have to go over bombs.
Be very careful with that one.
And here we're going to be doing ISG in a little hover to get to a BK skip.
Yep. I mentioned earlier that you can't lose or gain height when you have ISG like this. You can kind of stick in midair, and then when you get damaged, you get a lot of forward and a lot of downwards and backwards momentum that gives you for the door there.
Yeah, like I slash stick there to cancel the hover right before I get hit by the bomb, and lots of downward speed plus backward speed equals clip.
Yes.
On some ground polygons, it's complicated.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't work on every boss door. It works on some, but not others. It works on some webs, but not others. It's weird. OOT is a very strange game and very complicated game.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of very smart people who try to figure it out. And have been trying to figure it out for over 2 decades at this point.
Fortunately now I have a fairy in my inventory, so even if I do get CFG'd, we're okay.
He can never escape.
And he's right here, I have
He's
to.
right here. We have to.
I'm not missing my opportunity.
Gotta shoot your shot, you know. Wolf is a pretty easy boss. You can just trap him in the corner.
Take your amoeba for a walk into the corner and with ISG.
Yeah, like that, like so. It's slightly scary because it does break free and damage you. You do die.
Yeah.
Which does suck, but you know.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world.
Nah.
And then we have a quick little time for some donation
Yes.
before another
Probably the last time
FW
you have a
cutscene.
chance for a while.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we have $46 from Air Bison Cien. Hello, ESA from Canada. Do you know today's Canada Day? I didn't know.
I did not know.
Oh.
Congratulations, Canada. Happy to see ESA back. Loving the games on both streams right now. Thank you to all who participate, attend, and make this event happen for a good cause. Happy ESA summer.
Thank you. Happy Canada Day.
And it was put towards both getting a T-shirt for $46 and the target for Saga Emerald Beyond for a low-level boss fight. Thanks a lot for that donation. And again, happy birthday, something Canada.
Happy birthday, Canada.
Happy birthday.
You're a pretty good country. Oh,
Oh.
what the?
What the hell?
I have spare. I can do this.
Yeah, you get plenty of bombs. Nice.
Alright. This might seem a bit counterproductive because the next goal on our journey is Jabu-Jabu's belly. The second... We're only missing 2 dungeons. It's Jabu-Jabu and Dodongo's Cavern. But we do need to, yet again, set FW from a very specific entrance. Because I don't know if we touched about this, but like all dungeons, it means all dungeons and also like beat the game, aka get to the credits. And we can do that either by beating Ganon or some other stuff, which you'll see.
Yes.
That bomb is way too close. Get out of here.
Yeah. He wants to try a set of bombs that doesn't actually blow up the grass here. He wants to do a super slide off of this.
I'm way too far away from the
do
bush, but
a,
it might work.
He wants to do a trick, a super slide teleport, which you pretty self-explanatory. Yeah. How he's gonna do a super slide down this slope and gain, and this height will stay the same. So when he has to go shield, he'll be teleported back to the bush, try and grab it. It'll be underground, and he can then get to float zone. And here is a very complicated and difficult Hess to hit. For all the Zora's domain. Into a super swim, into the load zone. Very nice.
Nice.
That is very hard to do, actually.
Yeah, getting like through the bends to the top part there is a lot harder than it seems because you're not allowed to target wherever you want because there's these annoying stop signs everywhere and that mess you up.
And here, once again to Jabu. Jabu isn't here as a doll, but the loading zone is under the ice here. So if you can clip into the ice, you can get into Jabu.
2 more frames?
Yeah.
That's 1. That's 2.
Nice. So you can get the Jabu this way. Very nice. This sequence is very hard. It's very easy to lose time in because there's a lot of very complicated movement back to back to back. But luckily, this section in Jabu is fairly chill.
Yeah, my PB loses, I think, like a minute in that section to my best.
It's very difficult.
And if I wouldn't have done that, I would have had a record. But I'm not salty. I'll keep. That's what I have to keep telling myself so, to not go insane.
But yeah, unfortunately, no matter how broken Ocarina of Time is, we cannot escape needing Ruto to get the boomerang.
Yeah, there for some reason, the switch to open the door, where I guess it's kind of a mini boss. It's 4 stingers in the room.
Yeah, sure.
But to open that door, you do need specifically Ruto on the switch.
Look nice.
Cool camera.
Very nice.
2 beers and beers and 2 skulls. And a pentacle?
Yeah.
What's their actual name, Greg? You ran Glitchless, you know this.
I don't know, man. I call them some horrible stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
You don't want me to repeat
No, I regret.
You don't want me to repeat what's in that Google Doc.
Yeah. And funnily enough, these bubbles are not actually called bubbles. They're called shabombs.
Yes.
And the flying like skulls on fire in bottom of the well and other miscellaneous areas, those are called bubbles.
Yeah, those are the bubbles.
Because of course they are.
Because that makes sense completely.
I'm going to be taking 1 little popcorn hit here for health reasons.
Yes,
I
because...
will be dying later.
Yeah, so the end of Jabu is the hardest run warp in the run.
Oh yeah.
By far.
It's also the hardest fight in the run.
It's also the hardest fight in the run.
Volve was difficult and risky, but Baronade somehow manages to be worse.
Yeah, so the Baronade fight, for the entire fight, you're trying to manipulate Baronade's position and Link's position at the same time to kind of set up, because how that state ends up at the end of the fight determines where Ruto spawns and what direction she's facing, and where she spawns and where she's facing determines how you do the run warp from this dungeon.
Yeah, the current setup for the wrong warp requires it's this lovely little diagram with like, okay, here's the whole boss arena, and then this tiny little pizza slice.
Sliver. It's it's just several layers of precision on top of each other.
And just like Ocarina of Time in Minecraft, I will not be doing Vibruto, not because I can't, just because I won't.
Because it's cringe.
Ooh.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. We bring me. I'm right. Oh, that nice fairy.
I don't actually want to get
healed. You don't want to get healed right now.
Oh, that was close. I'm a certified Vibruto hater.
Hell yeah, +2.
That's why Greg's on comms, because he's the only other Vibruto hater in the building you can find.
I get it. United front. Nice bonk.
Nice bonk, yeah.
So yeah, we don't need anything else in the dungeon, just need a boomerang. And you can get past this blue switch. Normally you need a box to on this blue switch, but you can just... Oh, nice.
Wait, that looks good.
That work? Try it.
Let's find out.
Yo, new tech.
New setup just dropped. I've YOLO'd that so many times. I have like an eyeball. like, yeah, that looks.
Yeah, that looks fine. All right, that's where the real stuff happens. I'm just gonna let Nalle play.
Yeah, it's a multi-phase fight, and I'm juggling equip swaps while also damaging Baronade in a very specific way, so I can kill it with Navi text. You'll see.
Yeah.
And I need to position Baronade in a very specific spot, and also Link needs to be in a very specific spot. So
yeah, I'm just gonna let him do his thing.
Hopefully, this goes well.
We can focus on this. It's a little bit early on the boomerang for him. Nice.
I'm pretty sure that's good.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to tell because every wall looks the same.
You might kind of be in like the back right, sort of, from where the door is. It's a little.
You can kind of see the seams of the door that I'm going to be clipping through there.
It's awkward. You don't want the heart container.
Yeah, that's part one.
That's part one. Now it's part two.
Okay. I need to die at the very edge of the blue warp and get revived so I can remain or keep control while the blue warp and Rudo is trying to talk to me. And then pick up this pot and get warped back, start the thing, and now I need to really just lean in and see where Link is. I don't trust that. I need one more cycle. One more. One more. Okay.
Hopefully. Looks good.
There
nice. Well done. Well done. That is a very hard one warp to hit.
Yeah, and as you might have not been able to see, you need to ESS turn after, well, you need to pick up that pot and move into the corner, drop it to push Link out of the corner, and then ESS turn to a specific facing angle. While, yeah, you can't see Link, depending on Like, it's very,
It's
very hard.
Very tricky. And
here's the victory lap.
yep.
Here's the final
Dodongo.
boss and the final dungeon we will be doing.
Yeah.
And fortunately for us, he is
It's cheap.
very easy.
I mentioned earlier, we don't need to beat Ganon. That's not part of the description of the category, it's just get to the credits. Then I could beat by defeating Ganon, but there are other ways of doing that. And the reason why we set Thrall's Wind in Lake Hylia earlier is to facilitate this run warp here in this dungeon.
To beat the dungeon and also all the requirement of beating the game at the same time. So time is coming up in,
About 10 seconds.
wait, like pretty much exactly estimate.
Yeah, I think it might be like bang on. Maybe like 5 over or something.
Oh no, it's a little overestimate.
Yeah.
But it's coming up as soon as... Well, I'll just say time. And... Time.
Time.
3 seconds.
3 seconds. That's fine though.
Okay, 3
Well
seconds with a death to wolf. I'll take it.
Yeah, a 125 in this category and a marathon setting. Take that, honestly.
I'm pretty happy about that. But yeah, that's Ocarina of Time all dungeons. And I love this category. It's kind of funny how I fell into this, because I did not start with this category. I started with GSR and then moved on to glitchless and other stuff. Like, I'll try all dungeons and see how I like it. And that was 5 years ago. And
here we are.
Since then, I've been stuck. So if you want to try out Ocarina of Time speedrunning or all dungeons, then highly recommend joining the Discord. I have a quote-unquote tutorial or demonstration of all the tricks and explanation for this entire route if you're curious about more or learning it yourself. Other than that, I don't really think we have...
No.
I don't have any other shout-outs.
No, well, shouts to Nalle for doing this run, honestly.
Thank you.
Very good.
But yeah,
That's it, I think. Yeah.
that's going to be it. Thanks for watching, and
Thank
thanks
you.
for having us. Have a great rest of ESA Summon.
Yes.
Check out Digimon on Saturday.